The Small Business Big Marketing Show is made possible thanks to 52ways.biz, an amazing one-day event hosted by small business marketing expert Dale Beaumont. For business owners who want more leads, more time and more profit. You can grab your free ticket over at 52ways.biz, that is 52, before it's too late. And we're also brought to you by Cornerstone, an Aussie-owned, family-run offshoring business based in the Philippines who can reduce your running costs by 70%. Who doesn't want a bit of that? Book a free feasibility assessment with founder David Warren now. Call them on 02 9083 6689 or visit cornerstonebusinesssolutions.com.au. Huxtaburger co-founder Daniel Wilson loves what he does. So much so that he's given away his secret herbs and spices in a tell-all cookbook, making it easy for his competitors to copy. But that hasn't stopped Huxtaburger growing exponentially. Join me as he explains exactly how and why he's done it.
Well, I said, welcome to a small business marketing show, where successful small business owners share their souls to take your marketing straight to the lead. Now, here's your host, Mr. Timbo Reid.
And welcome back to another episode of the Small Business Big Marketing Show. I am your host, Timbo Reid, but you, infinitely more importantly, are a motivated business owner ready to crank out some great marketing to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it deserves to be. And that is exactly what we do around here. If it's your first time around, welcome. What took you so long? If it's your 356th time around, love your work. Thanks for returning. Hey, big show today. Daniel Wilson, co-founder of my favourite burger joint, Huxtaburger, joins us and shares some brilliant business and marketing insights, including why you should share that mountain of knowledge you're standing on. We launch a new segment, that's all about making your life easier. In fact, guess what it's called? You ready? Life just got a whole lot easier. Genius! I share another low-cost marketing idea I call the supersized customer testimonial strategy, and we go back into the archives revisiting a controversial chat I had with one of Australia's most successful network marketers. As per usual, team, there is marketing GOLD dripping from the ceiling over here at Small Business Big Marketing's HQ. So let's get stuck right in. Hey, a reminder that my next Create Freedom Through Outsourcing tour to the Philippines is on May 1 to 3, 2017. Thanks for those that have already booked their spot. Well done for taking the chance, putting your trust in me, he says evilly. We've just locked in a couple of very exciting businesses that we will be visiting in Manila on day one. I think you're going to love them. Plus, I can confirm that I'll be running a 2-hour workshop on the third and final day where I'm going to present my most popular keynote and put each of your businesses on the hot seat. Yeah, I think you're going to love that. Seats are limited. So book now, head over to smallbusinessbigmarketing.com/tour, or you can book directly with Cornerstone on 02 9083 6689. Now, speaking of things that will make your life easier, I am absolutely pumped to announce a brand new segment called Life Just Got a Whole Lot Easier. It's presented by past guest and one of Australia's leading small business experts, Dale Beaumont. And each week he'll bring to your attention an online productivity tool that will have you saying, where on earth has that been all my life? So let's see what Dale has in store for us today. Life, it just got a whole lot easier. Life just got a whole lot easier.
Hi, Dale Beaumont here from 52ways.biz, the best one-day business workshop ever, with another productivity tool to make your business life a whole lot easier. The tool I have for you today is called Voxer, V-O-X-E-R, and it's available for download as a smartphone app. This app makes it so easy to communicate with people at literally the speed of thought. Unlike composing an email that oftentimes may take 10 or 15 minutes to send, and you have to be in a fixed location, either at a computer or with your phone in your hand, what you can do now is send quick, fast messages even while you're driving in the car. All you need to do is tap on a person's name and then click one button and you just start speaking, exactly like I'm doing right now. Then when you finish, you click the button again and that will be then instantly sent to that person. It's kind of like an audio SMS. It is really fast and simple and it'll save you a whole lot of time. So go ahead and check it out. You'll be glad you did. There you go. I told you life would get a whole lot easier. This has been Dale Beaumont from 52ways.biz. Now, back to you, Timbo.
Life just got a whole lot easier. Thanks, Dale. I love Voxer. It's particularly good for communicating between team members. An absolutely fantastic online tool. And a big welcome to 52ways.biz. Love having you guys on board. Hey, coming up after this interview, I share 3 ideas that grabbed my attention. Plus, I've got another low-cost marketing idea for you, as if there wasn't enough in this show already. But first, let's meet today's successful business owner. Daniel Wilson is a chef and co-founder of Huxtaburger, my favourite burger joint of all time. Just between you and I have Daniel to thank for the extra 10 kilograms I'm carrying around my waist at this very moment. Huxtaburger is a very understated burger brand that's in 5 quality locations around my hometown of Melbourne. By understated, I mean that there's nothing really flashy about the stores. No bright signs, no meal deals, just a simple menu of burgers, shakes, fries, beers. There's a couple of things I love about the Huxtaburger brand. One is the quality of the food. The other is in its marketing. Specifically, Daniel has written a recipe book that step by step explains exactly how to make the world's best burger. Now, I know many of you shy away from the idea of sharing that mountain of knowledge you're standing on. So you avoid writing a book or producing a podcast, blog or YouTube channel, which I believe is to your detriment. So stick around as I will be asking Daniel why he's done it and what it's done for his business. But to kick things off, I asked Daniel what made him think the world needed another burger joint.
Well, I think, there are a lot of burger joints out there, but they're pretty, average. You got your mainstays, the big ones we don't need to mention. But, we just thought that there was an opening in the market at a slightly premium level above those fast food joints to do a fresh, tasty burger with kind of fish and chip shop, thoughts behind it, but with restaurant sensibilities. So kind of using fresh quality ingredients and around that $10 price point. I think, we...
Come on, it's a bit higher than that.
Oh, $9.50 for a Huxtaburger, I'll have you know. Started at $8.
Yeah. I took my son there on Saturday and he's like, I'll have the shake and the fries. And, by the end of that, I'd mortgage the house. But
no, I appreciate it. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah, so obviously we had the restaurant Huxtable that had been open for a year, and myself and my business partners, Jeff and Dante, we all come from the restaurant world and have worked in, pretty high-end restaurants over the years.
Okay, so let's just go back a step. Huxtable. So you're a chef by trade.
Yes.
You're the chef at Huxtable.
Yep.
Tell us about Huxtable, because this is a global show.
Yeah.
What was Huxtable?
So Huxtable, Jeff and Dante and myself met in 1998 in Melbourne, became friends, all went our various ways, and they were front of house / wine bar, that kind of thing. And then I went off and did my thing, and then we kind of reconvened in about early 2010 and decided to open a restaurant together. So at the time, they had already found a site when I got on board on Smith Street, which at the time wasn't, particularly savoury, as it's gone through a bit of a gentrification these days. And we wanted to open a restaurant, and this kind of ties into the thoughts behind Huxtaburger as well. We wanted to open a restaurant that had great food, great service, but was fun to use. It was uncomplicated. It was, more about enjoying what's in front of you and the space rather than feeling stiff and having to dress up and, so just that smart casual, but just, you know, a bit relaxed and fun because, you know, we're a bit fun, we're a bit cheeky, and we wanted to translate that to you know, put on the plate.
How do you do that? Because, you know, like one of the great conundrums of a small business owner is that we start a business that almost reflects who we are, our own personalities, and that makes sense on paper. But how do you take that fun aspect of what you guys are about and put it into a business?
Well, I guess it's about... it has a lot to do with the staff and the culture, and
therein lies the problem, right? Staff, people.
Yeah, but you know, we were very lucky for a long time. We had very good staff there, and they believed our philosophies and let them flow through, and we gave them the rope to.
So how do you do that? Is it a meeting? Is it a document that you hand over when someone starts? Do you just innately see it in someone?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, sometimes it can be, you know, throwing darts in the dark to try and find them, but demonstrating that behaviour and belief, I guess, it gives them and trusting them gives them the permission to follow that through.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
And then, you know, and it's really quite a beautiful process because then the customer feels comfortable, they feel looked after, but they, you know, there's a real value proposition in it, I guess.
Yeah, love it. So Huxtable is going along beautifully for a number of years.
Well, so no, this was August 2010 we opened Huxtable, and then it was about a year later, Dante and I were sitting in the window looking at all the patrons going to the Copacabana next door, you know, or leaving at about 2:30 in the morning. We were just sharing an after-work beverage.
As you do in the hospitality industry.
Of course. It's been a long day, a good 16 hours day at work. So we thought to ourselves, well, there's not many decent burger shops around. And we thought, okay, well, you know, nights were great for us. Lunches weren't so wonderful. So, you know, at lunchtime in the area, people would go and get their kebab or their Vietnamese roll from Enly or around that $10 or sub $10 price point. So at lunchtime, we got a few people in for lunch, but we were always like, it could be better.
Okay.
So then we thought, well, bugger it, let's, you know, and the idea was fizzing away for quite a while. We tried to approach the people that own the kebab shop one door down from us, and that went nowhere.
Had you seen a burger joint somewhere else? Had you been to the States, or was there something you'd gone, gee, I'd love something like that, and we could do it infinitely better?
Well, growing up, we'd have fish and chips every Friday night, and I would have generally a burger 50% of the time instead of fish. And then I did my training in the States from 94 to 97 in Michigan. So, you know,
You had burger written all over you.
Yeah, well, on one part of me maybe. So then I thought, well, you know, we can do this. It's not hard, you know, and there's a market out there for that kind of, you know, that want. And I guess, like I said before, it reflects on the restaurant as well. I think the type of food we were serving there in a nicer room with the staff in uniforms and, you know, some more muted music, we could have charged more.
Gotcha.
So we thought, well, why don't we apply that to this and go, okay, well, it's still quality, but, you know, you don't have to mortgage the house.
So you got that phrase, a restaurant sensibility in a takeaway. What can you?
Yeah, in a fast casual setting.
In a fast casual setting, which is what Huxtaburger is all about. So you're sitting in the window, 2:30 in the morning, couple of bevies. Dante, you look him in the eye, go, we're going to do a burger joint.
Yeah.
I'm always fascinated because ideas are wonderful things and we all have them, but actually putting them into practice, what was that a difficult thing? Was it something that just kind of then immediately happened?
Well, I said, okay, well, let me do some trial burgers, and because I know how I like to make a burger. Over the years, I've made burgers at home for my kids plenty of times, and even for staff meal at the restaurant. So that's what we did every Friday night for the next few weeks. We got in different meat, different buns, and tried out all these burgers. So every Friday night, the staff were like, yoo-hoo, before service.
Yeah.
And it was quite fortuitous. In fact, the Epicure were doing an article, which was a front cover article on staff meals in restaurants, and we knew that this was coming up, as in we were going to be opening Huxtaburger, and so they came and took a photo of all the staff sitting along the kitchen eating burgers. So it was a great little...
Love it. How long before you arrived upon the ideal recipe?
It took a few weeks.
Okay.
I mean... And people often ask, and subsequently I've written the book and
I want to talk about that because I find that fascinating.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that I always say is a burger is a sum of all of its parts. So you want every ingredient to be tasted in equal measure when you take a bite. So it's kind of like. Some people find this a bit over the top, but like an orchestra, you don't want to have the
you don't want the oboe drowning out the violin.
Exactly. So
wow, I love how that's passion right there. You have just compared the construction of a hamburger to an orchestra.
Yeah,
hey,
it's all about balance.
How much do you love Huxtaburger?
Oh, a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
What part of it do you love the most?
What I love the most is, and this is cooking in general, is I love seeing people enjoy it. And that's why I became a chef, because...
How do you see that? Are you working in one of the 5 stores?
Yeah, well, I'm always in and out of them.
You're in and out.
So,
and do you have a little look?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Or if I'm walking along the street and I see someone carrying a bag, and I'm just like, it's just...
Do you tap them on the shoulder?
No. I like to fly under the radar.
Okay. But what about when you're in store and wondering, what are you thinking, guys? Do you like it, or you just watch and see that smile? In fact, can I tell you, last week we had the founder of Stone and Wood on the show, right? In fact, it's an episode goes out today. And he has a phrase called the neck snap. So he'll be in the bar and he'll watch someone order a Stone and Wood, not alerting anyone to the fact that he owns the business.
Yeah.
And if they do the next step, they kind of look at the guy next to them and go, wow, what did I just drink?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that's all we aim to do, is to share something that, we like you were saying earlier.
Yep.
The best things you can do to share with other people are things that you love and enjoy, because it's, I was... A couple of weeks ago, I was a judge and mentor for the Fonterra Proud to be a Chef program, so 32 chefs from all around Australia. And they're all these young chefs, and they're, asking for advice. And I said, just cook what you love. Cook what comes naturally from you, because if you don't like to eat it, chances are that, you're not going to cook it the best of your ability, because it's something that whether you're unfamiliar with but it just doesn't,
Do you think that translates across business and the marketing of a business? Like, do what you love?
Oh,
or is it a little bit motherhood? Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because then the voice is honest and it's true. You know, it's not contrived.
Yeah. Have you done something in Huxtaburger that you knew there wasn't a lot of joy around for you, but you did it anyway and it didn't work?
Look, I think, to be fair, the first vegetarian burger that we had.
What a joke. Sorry to all the vegetarians in the room, but really? I could have told you that wasn't going to work.
She could have been better. She had a lot of fans.
She?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Any
Sandra.
reason? Sandra, the vegetarian burger?
Yeah, Sandra, yeah.
Sandra.
Yep. So she's since had some work.
Yes.
And
a little bit of a facelift.
Yeah, a little nip and tuck here and there, and she's in much better shape.
But you knew at the time? You just were putting it on there to appease the vegetarians along Smith Street, Collingwood.
To some degree.
Yeah,
to some degree.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, stick to beef. Hey?
Yeah. Well, I mean, originally when we first opened, we had 5 beef burgers, and that was it. Right. It was almost called the Collingwood Burger Academy, and we were going to come up with this farcical thing that our fathers started the shop back in the 60s, and they were just grumpy old men, and you could get beef, and that was it.
Yeah, okay.
You know? But then it just seemed like too much hard work.
Way too much hard work.
Yeah.
Huxtaburger, where'd that name come from?
Well, because the restaurant was called Huxtable, and everyone assumed that the name came from The Cosby Show, because that was their surname.
Yeah.
That's why we named all the burgers, as a bit of a piss take, we named all the burgers at Huxtaburger after the characters on the show.
Yeah.
So Denise was the hot one, and that's the hot one.
Geez, what was Bill, given what's transpired
Yeah,
over
well,
the
that
years?
was back then. That's the one with the lot. That's what Dad would eat.
Right.
So
Thought it might have been the kids' burger, but hey, I'm not going to say that.
That's the Rudy. Because that was the little kid.
Okay.
And Sandra was the eldest daughter who was off at university and a bit of a hippie. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't named after the Cosby Show. Is that what you...
Well, originally Huxtable was the idea for the name came from, because at the time Jeff had had two cafes and still had one of them, and we were just trying to throw around ideas for a name, and I was cooking steaks one Friday lunch at my previous job, and I was thinking about how for Dante and myself it was our first business. And so I thought, it's a bit of a brave new world. And then I thought of Huxley.
Huxley.
And then I thought, well, Huxley's
Brave New World.
a bit silly. And then I thought, well, Huxtable, I thought, well, I didn't mind the Cosby Show at the time, and there will be tables there, so I like the Hux part. And
Jeez, Daniel, that's a drawn-out answer. I was expecting something a little bit simpler.
Is the half hour over?
That's right. We're going to have to go over now. Make a note. Don't ask Daniel where the name came from.
Yeah.
Hey, so tell me, you get the first shop open. It was the Smith Street Collingwood shop. Is it rocking, or have you at some point looked Dante in the eye and gone, that 2:30am conversation?
Well, originally when we started trialling the burgers, and Jeff said, "You're crazy," and then he tried the burger and he said, "Okay."
Who's Jeff? Third partner?
Yeah, and he said, "Okay, this is going to be big." And so he was the doubter, and so then we opened the first one. It was 3 days before Christmas, 2011.
Wow.
So we're racing to the line.
What was that about? That would seem a dangerous time to open, but what would I know?
Well, the thing is, if we didn't get it open by then we would be closed until the middle of January, and we needed to pay some bills.
You're paying rent, yeah.
Yep. So, so that involved some, overtime by the builder and the neighbours getting pissed off, but, we got there. And then so it opened, and, the first 2 or 3 days were kind of, or first week or so were good, not crazy, and then it just went ballistic. It went bananas.
In what period of time? Like late January or something? Or?
Oh, I can't even remember. I'd have to look it up, but it didn't take long.
It didn't take long?
No.
So what was that about, do you think? Had you just hit it on the head, your right place, right recipe, right brand, just all the magic came together? Exactly,
and I think because we had always got a lot of media from the Epicure or from all food media outlets, because, we've all done our various things. Dante was a bartender of the year a couple of times, and I was young chef of the year, and so we're already on their radar. And then the restaurant opened, and then it's like these guys that have opened this cool new restaurant on Smith Street are opening a burger shop, and it just kind of all snowballed. And we were just lucky that we always had something relevant for the media to talk about. And not only that...
What do you mean? Like, for example, how many relevant things can a burger joint have to talk about?
Well, I mean, it's like, okay, so we opened the restaurant. Cool. Okay, the restaurant got a good review. Okay, then... we're doing...
Do you have lines out the street or...?
At the restaurant?
Yeah.
No, but it was fairly steadily booked. Yeah. And then...
No, at Huxtaburger.
Oh, yeah. Once it opened, it was nuts.
You had lines?
Yeah, it was crazy. People were waiting 45 minutes to an hour for a burger at peak times.
How'd that make you feel?
Horrid.
Really?
Yeah.
Quality control out the door.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not quality control. It's just the fact that these people, they get there, they're so excited, they order, and half an hour later th're like, seriously?
But you'd know Fergburger in Queenstown, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a constant 30 to 45 minute line, which, I was sort of happy to be in, but I liked how they came and took your drink order and served you a beer while you were lining up. And I don't know whether is that legal? I don't know, but it was kind of cool.
Well, they got more money out of you for it.
Well, they got more money out. And I got to tell you, burger wasn't that great.
Yeah, I've never had it.
Haven't you?
No.
It's a bit disappointed. I guess my expectation was so high, lining up for 45 minutes, that I'm like, this is going to be the best burger in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't. Tried to get Ferg on the show. Declined. What's going on?
Because he knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, that's right. Wait till you tell me. I'll give you some feedback on Saturday, actually, if you're open for it later. You ask me. So things are going well. Happy days. You've hit on something. Was there, and then you've now got 5 stores. Was that a quick kind of thing, or how do you do that? How do you roll out?
Well, you're just bad at saying no. So
to who?
To an agent goes, okay, we've got a site here, and you believe in yourself and go, yep. We can do it.
But mind you, that's what are we talking? You've been open now for 6 years. Huxtaburger is 6 years old.
It was 5 years in December.
That's not. 5 stores in 5 years. It's not crazy.
No.
I mean, you were telling me before we went on air about Rolled, which is 54 stores in. I'm going to guess less.
Yeah, it is. I think it's about 4 years.
You're dragging your tail.
I know.
What's going on?
We're about to push the button, so it's okay. Yep, we'll get to that.
Okay. Yep. Is it a big button or is it just another store?
Oh, no. We're going through a franchising process at the moment. So, yeah.
Why? Why franchise?
Well, it's the only way to grow without getting into bed with the banks, and to grow at a fast rate without taking on a capital investment, which it's easy to get money, but you want to it's pointless to have money that doesn't come with anything else, other than just paying interest.
I've heard the franchise. I've interviewed a few businesses on this show that have gone into franchise or are franchisors.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of fun getting it to the point of hitting the franchise button, is it? Like paperwork process.
A lot of work. I mean, it's probably
Money.
been about 8 months for us. We're doing it with a mob called DC Strategy, who are the market leader in Australia. They rolled out things like Boost Juice.
Yeah, right. Know what they're doing.
Jenny Craig.
Jeez, mate,
Grilled.
you've gone straight to the top.
Yeah,
Hey?
yeah. So it's been a really interesting process because there's a lot of looking into yourselves and seeing what you actually really want out of it, and rigorous. Interviewing of possible franchisees. And so, there's a lot to learn out of it, which is pretty cool.
You're interesting, Daniel, because you're essentially a creative person as a chef, and yet you are now on this huge business trajectory. Has it been difficult?
Yes, it has. It has. I feel like a fish out of the water a lot of the time. I miss cooking a lot. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about that? Anything? Or just you've kind of cooking's now well in your past?
Well, who knows what the future holds, to be honest. But I have no great plans to jump into a kitchen full-time in the near future. But I still enjoy doing cooking demos and like the Proud to be a Chef thing I just did, and still, doing special dinners here and there. We just did the launch of the Audi Q2 a couple of weeks ago. So that was nice to be able to...
we? Huxtaburger?
Yeah, yeah. So
cool.
Yeah, so it was obviously I came up with the menu and was there doing it, and so.
Do you ever get behind the grill at a Huxtaburger?
I have been. When our store out at Ringwood opened November a year ago, I was out there for about 6 months and doing everything.
I thought that was an interesting move. So you have, for listeners outside of Melbourne, Huxtaburger's Melbourne only, you've got 4 suburban locations, good, solid Collins Street, Smith Street, Glenferrie Road, Paran, High Street, Paran, solid locations. Then you go out to Eastland, which is a bloody big shopping centre, which is a completely different real estate strategy, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Too good to refuse offer, or they wooed you with some free rent, or?
Look, it was an opportunity which we decided, it was a good testing ground for the suburbs, the outer suburbs, and also we felt that the precinct they were doing there, which they call the town square,
it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's an ELP, as they call them these days, entertainment and leisure precinct.
Oh, sure.
So it's not just a crappy food court inside the mall, and it's beautifully landscaped. It's a gorgeous space.
It's incredibly surprising because Eastland, as a kid growing up, they were the Badlands, right?
Yeah. Well, I'd never...
No, you wouldn't.
I'd never heard of it before.
And now it is quite an incredible upstairs, outdoor, indoor food court, grass.
Yep.
Outdoor. Anyway, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
so, okay.
So we it was a good opportunity, we thought, to kind of share it with the outer suburbs, and given the demographic around that area, close to the valley, Yarra Valley, and I guess that the landlord QRC...
That's a bit of a stretch. Can't go Eastland's close to the Yarra Valley, the Epicurean centre of Victoria. It's Eastland, mate.
I guess their thing was, the people that live out there, if they want to have those types of things, they have to come into the city. So bring the city out to them.
Nice. Very good of you. Hey?
Well, we try.
Yeah, that kind of brand. Do you have a you're not corporate. Do you have a social responsibility?
Yeah, so we're actually in the middle of a brand refresh at the moment, which is very exciting.
Really?
Yep. So to go with the whole franchising program, we're very excited. It's going to be launching very shortly. There have been some little soft launches, teasers of the new branding at the Australian Open. Our container that we were in was wrapped with the new branding, and so there have been a few little bits and bobs out there, but we're planning on... So
part of that brand refresh is connection to a cause?
Yeah, so a bit of a social mission of diversity. So, getting behind diversity in all areas, basically.
Yep. Brand refresh, wasn't aware you were doing that. Is that because of the franchising?
Yeah, just...
sounds like 5 years. You've got a lovely... I don't know what I'd call it's just a solid... It looks like it's been around forever, your branding.
Well, that's maybe it. I mean, the thing is, if you look at it, the tagline is hot beef, cold beer.
Quite like it.
And when we first opened, that's what we had.
Right.
And so we had beef burgers and we had beer.
Yeah.
So we still have beef burgers and have beer, but we have so much more than that now.
Well, you've got a veggie burger, you've got a chicken burger, you've got some fries and shakes. You're not going to keep adding, are you? You know what? One of the things I love about this menu. Simple.
Yeah. Well, that's the idea.
It's not
We're
going to run to
simple
another.
people.
Well, it sounds like you're about to complicate it.
No. It's more about just keeping it. If something's not performing, we'll just whip that out and put something else in and do LTOs and that kind of stuff. But the chicken,
LTO,
limited time offer. So
that's what the big boys do. Hey?
Well,
You've seen The Founder?
No, I haven't.
You're kidding.
You're the fourth person in the last few days that's told me I need to watch that.
Well, I mean, you're kind of in that space, and it's actually a pretty good film.
Yeah, no, it's on the list.
What I love about it, and no use talking to you about it because you haven't seen it, but the way they present the original burger joint from 1954 is quite beautiful. I don't know, it's just a very tactile part of the film where you just want to hold the burger and the shakes, and yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Well, So diversity is one of our 3 brand pillars. Another one is taste. So, we believe we own taste. We unashamedly say that the burgers we don't call them healthy, No. They're not particularly unhealthy.
No. Oh, they are.
No.
Goodness me. Have a look at that. Hey? He pats his stomach.
Moderation, is the key, especially moderation.
I would have interviewed my wife if I wanted to have that discussion. Goodness me. Hey, listeners, I'm talking to Daniel Wilson, one of the co-founders of Huxtaburger, one of the great Melbourne burger joints, which sounds like it's about to go national. Yes.
Oh,
yes. Slowly. I don't rush it. So it's a Victorian-only franchise?
For the next couple of years.
Yeah, just for the people up in the Yarra Valley. And tell me, I am fascinated. You've written a book. I was given your book 2 Christmases ago on how to make. It's called Huxtaburger, isn't it?
Yeah, the Huxtaburger book.
Yeah,
the art and science of the perfect burger.
Right. So I read that book, and I can now make my burger making skills. Seriously, have improved. I don't know, quadrupled. They weren't that good. It was offering a low baseline, but it's a bloody good book. And anyone who reads that book, their burger making skills will improve astronomically. Which raises the question, why would you give away your IP? Now, it's a leading question because I know the answer to this, but there are many listeners, and I'm telling my listeners all the time, guys, write a book, get a podcast, start a YouTube channel, blog, share that mountain of knowledge that you're standing on, and you will draw a hungry crowd towards your business.
Absolutely,
right?
Because it makes them feel included. And they especially if they've got that book on the shelf at home, they might look at it and the first time they might make a burger, but then the second time they'll, I'll just go and buy one, because while people may think they're replicating it exactly, what they're going to get in the store is probably, it's the whole experience, you can't, and you can give 10 people the same recipe and the same ingredients and you'll get 10 different outcomes. Mm-hmm. So I think that's, it's that inclusion thing. That's what I think.
Inclusion, being part of the brand, taking you inside how we do things.
Yeah.
And at no point you or your other 2 business partners looked at each other and gone, we're about to sell our blueprint for $30.
No, well, the recipe had already been in Gourmet Traveller about 18 months before that, with a cover shot on there. So, yeah, look, nothing's a secret these days, really. I don't think, and it's good to share. Good to share knowledge, I have no issue with that.
Does it come back to that old saying, people can copy what we do, but not who we are?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you focus a lot on the Huxtaburger experience.
Yep.
And there's plenty, you go buy a burger elsewhere, may not be as good, might be.
Yeah.
But you're not going to have the Huxtaburger. What's fundamental to the Huxtaburger experience, Daniel?
I think, the quality of the food is obviously paramount, and that's what we aim towards, making sure that it's consistent, that... I think one of the points of difference with us is putting clarified butter on the inside of the bun and toasting it on the grill. So
correct.
You get that lovely, buttery, crispy, toasty flavour. And that what that also does is steams the bun from the inside, so the bun compresses around the ingredients. So it's not like eating a risole and a loaf of bread.
That was an absolute game changer to me. Toasting the inside of the bun with clarified butter, or I use olive oil if I'm feeling lazy. Get the crispiness in there.
Yeah.
The outside of the bun soft.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah.
Putting the condiments to the edge. Having the patty go to the edge. These are just like, I was just going ping, ping. Everything was going on. I go, that's how you make the perfect burger. Your buns are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like to me, they are a massive point of difference.
Yeah,
they're not too bready. They're soft.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit romantic about your buns, actually. Do you guys make them, or do you have them made? Or
we have them made. Yeah.
Can I go and buy those buns somewhere?
You can.
Where?
Bread Top.
Don't. Bread Top Bakery, like in Chadston and.
There's several locations.
Oh, my God. I
Yep.
can't believe you even gave that away. See,
Well,
I find that fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, it'd take you about 3 seconds to find that on the internet.
Wow.
And also
that internet thing's going to take off.
another iconic Melbourne food item known as the Andrew McConnell lobster roll is also in a Bread Top roll.
Oh, you don't. This is massive. I could wrap things up now and go to Bread Top. I just can't believe that. I
Yeah.
mean, that is, to me, if I owned a burger joint right now, I would throw out all buns, because they're also bloody bready. Whereas that Bread Top bun's kind of like just, it's, I don't know. I'm a bit amazed at that.
People say it's brioche, but it's not brioche. It's just more
bloody close.
Yeah, well, brioche has a lot more butter in it and more structure to it, whereas this does have a tendency to kind of, be a lot, have a more open crumb.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness
those
me.
of
Let's wrapping things up, just in terms of the marketing of Huxtaburger. It's a very understated brand. You walk in, there's not a lot of flash about the brand. You're not on TV. How do you get the word out there beyond foot traffic?
At the beginning, we did, back when Twitter was cool, we did do a bit of stuff on Twitter and also Instagram.
Just posts or ads?
Just posts, yeah. I don't think we've ever spent a cent on advertising.
Where have you spent marketing money outside of design, signage, real estate, packaging? Got a great bag. You see your bag walking down the streets you're in, you go, that's the Huxtaburger there.
Wait till you see the new one.
See? I am going to wait, because I just feel like here's a brand that I have genuinely loved, and I don't know, I hope you're not going to get all kind of blingy on me.
Well, it's just more about the burger. So instead of it being about the burger, it's about the lifestyle. So if you think about...
Sounds a bit wanky.
Oh, thank you. If you think about that small brand Red Bull, do you think about the drink?
Not really.
No.
No, because it's not that nice.
Yeah, and say think about Apple. They're not the best in their category in terms of the products, but
they're pretty good.
They are, but the look and the feel and the way it's packaged, and so people, it's an aspirational thing. People see someone with a new iPhone and think, oh, I've still got the 5. I want that new one, and so it's just about. Again, it's that kind of being part of something and, being proud to be using that product.
Yeah, I totally get that. And I don't think enough businesses spend anywhere near enough time on that, because it does feel a little bit wanky, right? It's like... It's a hard, that whole brand and design thing, it's very hard to communicate. We talk a lot about on this show about brand being an emotional attachment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what you've just talked about then is going to build that emotional attachment. So I take the wanky thing back, but jury's out. I'll give you a ring.
All new custom packaging and just very exciting.
So you haven't spent $1 on advertising. Where has the most amount of money gone in promoting Huxtaburger, that part of marketing?
Probably doing events, that kind of thing, but generally things like events that have been really popular for us have been obviously the Australian Open. We did the park at the Flemington at the Cup Carnival this year.
So like a food truck kind of setup, right?
Yeah, without the wheels on it. So, and also GABS every year, the Great Australian Beer Spectacular, is a great event for us. And obviously, there is revenue attached to those, but the costs involved are pretty high. But so, it is somewhat of a branding exercise.
Yeah, okay.
So, we've done pop-ups in Messina, in Sydney with Messina, and also with...
Why would you go interstate?
Just to create a bit of noise and have fun with our friends.
Yeah, okay.
So we do plan to go interstate, but not until, probably the year after next.
You are having fun, aren't you?
Yes, that's the main thing.
Most fun you've ever had in business?
Yes, yeah, it's scary. It's scary at times, because
when you say scary, what thought do you go to?
Well, just how do you, what makes...
My house is on the line. It's not going to work.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
Yeah, right.
And one of the things we've done recently is with this whole franchising thing is we've had to fill our head office up with, a general manager, a procurement manager, a brand and marketing manager, and an operations manager. And so obviously that increases head office costs a lot. And we're essentially hiring people that are better at our jobs than we are, which is, again, kind of scary because you kind of see yourself going, okay, well, I don't do that anymore, but they actually do it better. But what do I do now?
Gotcha.
So so it becomes a bit more strategic, board level kind of stuff.
Do you have a mentor?
Not really. I mean, a good friend of mine is Andrew Hagger from the NAB, and he's been.
So all right, I'll do it for burgers.
Yeah,
Hey, well done, Daniel.
Yeah, thank you.
Great brand. Love seeing a business owner that's having fun, and I wish you all the massive amount of success for the future.
Thank you.
Oh, there you go, team. Huxtaburger's Daniel Wilson. What a great fellow. What an amazing... sometimes I just get blown away by the insights and ideas my guests share with us. And Daniel, absolutely no exception. Now, coming up, I share my top 3 attention grabbers from that fireside chat with Daniel. Plus, I've got another low-cost marketing idea for you that I think you're going to love. But first, here's a little something to create more freedom in your business. Support for this show comes from Cornerstone, an Aussie-owned, family-run offshoring business based in the Philippines. You know, one of the great fears business owners have about offshoring is whether the people are suitably qualified, which may be a little unfounded. I asked Cheska, Cornerstone's marketing manager, to share her background.
I was a consistent university scholar. I was a president's lister and a consistent college scholar as well. So I graduated magna cum laude. And
that's with a high five, right?
Yeah, I know. You've been waiting for that, Timbo.
Yeah. That was a build-up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I graduated magna cum laude and I ranked second in the whole university. Cornerstone,
where the idea of employing someone smarter than yourself is not just encouraged, but welcomed with open arms. Start working smarter now and employ a virtual marketing assistant. Visit cornerstonebusinesssolutions.com.au or give them a call on 02 9083 6689 and tell them Timbo sent you. Okay, my top 3 attention grabbers from my chat with Daniel Wilson of Huxtaburger, thanks to 52ways.biz and Cornerstone. Attention grabber number 1, I love Daniel's quote, cook what you love. I'd extend that to do what you love. If you're not doing something you love in your business, either get someone else to do it, get rid of it, or get over it. Attention grabber number 2, he's never spent a cent on advertising. You know, you hear me say time and time again, the marketing landscape has changed significantly. Advertising is absolutely a small component part of marketing. There's many other ways you can go and promote that beautiful business of yours. And the third one, should be number 1 really, but is go and share that mountain of knowledge that you're standing on. Write the book, get your podcast, get a YouTube channel, start blogging, get a forum going. Express your opinions, share your knowledge, become the opinion leader. Daniel's done that with his book. I encourage you to follow a similar strategy. What grabbed your attention? Head over to smallbusinessbigmarketing.com/356 and leave me your comment.
What have you got to lose?
Oh yes, indeedly doodly. It's time for one simple yet effective marketing idea that you can implement today. It's not going to cost you a fortune if anything, and it may just get you more inquiry, more awareness, more sales. I call today's idea the supersized customer testimonial. You can talk until you're blue in the face about how great your business is, but at the end of the day, the people you're trying to sell to are more likely to be influenced by what others say about you, your company, and your products. That's why smart business owners go out of their way to gather customer testimonials, encouraging happy customers to write reviews about their beautiful business. Testimonials can be a powerful conversion tool. The problem is that many have figured this out, and as a result, everyone now includes testimonial text blurbs in strategic places around their websites. That's why I recommend you take the time to create beefier customer testimonials in the form of videos, audios, case studies and blog posts. These are more story-like than just short, sharp testimonial sentences. Here's my 3 steps to creating supersized customer testimonials. Step 1. Create a list of 5 happy customers you could reach out to for a testimonial. In doing so, decide whether you want to create a video or audio testimonial, a case study, or a blog post. Maybe ask the customer for their preference. Step 2. Come up with an outline for your testimonial interview. So if you decided on the blog post or case study idea, write up a few questions and send them to your customer to answer. If you decided on the video or audio idea, coordinate with your customer and find a time that you can record them. Step 3, put your customer testimonial together and place it prominently on your website. And here's the pro tip. Include a link to a testimonial that you've produced with your proposals. That gives them a little bit of extra oomph. You'll find links to any resources mentioned in this idea over at smallbusinessbigmarketing.com/356, including a blog post containing tips on how to create captivating testimonials. And if you'd like help implementing any of the ideas I share in this segment, and there's been plenty, go ahead and join the Small Business Big Marketing Club over at smallbusinessbigmarketing.com, where I'll personally support you daily on your marketing journey. So, what have you got to lose? Well, that almost wraps up another episode of the Small Business Big Marketing Show. But don't fret, there's plenty of marketing gold coming your way in the weeks and months ahead. Do you remember that controversial chat I had with Paul McInerney, one of Australia's leading network marketers? Paul makes a killing selling isogenics, but life wasn't always a bed of roses. Here he is talking about the moment when life finally took a turn for the better.
Well, the defining moment was when my brother died, actually, because then I just lost the plot and I was out there drinking heavily and doing crazy stuff and that, because I said, okay, this is my life. I want to live it to the fullest, because he was only 31 at the time and died of cancer. So I thought, whoa, I'm going to go hard here. But then in the course, what he said, you've got to let go of the past and virtually just focus on the present. Mm-hmm. So I started living in the now, and that's when it really started to change my life, living in the now.
Solid advice there from Paul. You know, that was a very interesting interview, as at the time I was in 2 minds about the whole network marketing model. You can hear my full interview with Paul, plus hundreds more, over at smallbusinessbigmarketing.com, or you can subscribe free on iTunes, which I would love you to do. Hey, I'd love to hear from you as well. Feel free to email me, tim@timreid, reid.com.au, or join the Small Business Big Marketing Facebook page, where I share the lighter side of marketing. Be sure to grab your free seat at Dale Beaumont's 52ways.biz events that will be touring Australia and New Zealand in May, June and August this year. Simply go to 52ways, that's the numbers 52.biz, and get ready to discover some amazing business tips, from generating more leads with less effort to getting $30,000 of free media exposure. And check out Cornerstone if the idea of reducing your running costs by 70+% excites the hell out of you. And why wouldn't it? Or if you want to come on my 4th Create Freedom Through Outsourcing tour to the Philippines in May 2017. You'll find all the details at cornerstonebusinesssolutions.com.au. Hey, if you love this show, go and download it onto another small business owner's phone who could do with a little bit of marketing love. Until next week, I'm Timbo Reid. Thanks for tuning in. May your marketing be the best marketing. Bye for now.